The transmission reached Earth at 1432 Greenwich Mean Time, carried across 17 light-years by quantum relay. Admiral Catherine Hayes watched in horror as the holographic recording played in the War Council chamber, showing Ambassador David Reeves, a man she'd known since the Academy, being dragged in chains before the Zephyr High Court. Emperor Vashka's voice dripped with contempt as he pronounced sentence. Let this human understand the price of defying the Galactic Empire. Your species dares to claim sovereignty over worlds we have marked for expansion. Reeves, bloodied but unbowed, lifted his head. The Outer Rim colonies are sovereign human territory, protected under the Galactic Accords your empire signed. The plasma flame cut off his words mid-sentence. Admiral Hayes closed her eyes as screams echoed through the chamber. When she opened them again, the transmission had ended, leaving only the diplomatic seal of the Zephyr Empire floating in the air like a taunt. Mom. Captain Morrison's voice was barely a whisper. What are your orders? Hayes stood slowly, her jaw set like granite. Around the table, humanity's finest military minds waited in stunned silence. These were people who had fought the corporate wars, who had survived the Titan Rebellion, who had seen horrors across a dozen star systems. None of them had ever seen a diplomat executed for doing his job. Priority Alpha transmission to all human fleets, Hayes said quietly. Recall every ship, every crew, every asset we have scattered across the galaxy. Admiral, Director Chun from Colonial Intelligence leaned forward. Perhaps we should consider a diplomatic response first. The other galactic powers, Hayes interrupted. Just watch the Zephyr Empire burn our ambassador alive on interstellar broadcast. They've had 6 hours to condemn it. How many statements of concern have we received? The silence was answer enough. Hayes activated the tactical display, showing human colonies scattered like islands across the Outer Rim. David Reeves died protecting those worlds. He died believing in the rule of law, in civilization, in the idea that some lines shouldn't be crossed. She turned to face the assembled officers. The Zephyr just proved that civilization is a luxury they don't understand. Captain Morrison pulled up fleet deployment schedules. Admiral, if we recall everything, we're looking at the largest human military mobilization since Earth's unification. The logistics alone will be handled. Hayes cut him off. Contact the shipyards at Luna, Mars, Titan. I want every vessel capable of mounting weapons systems retrofitted for combat. Civilian shipping, cargo haulers, even the luxury liners. Ma'am, Director Chun protested. That's total war doctrine. Admiral Hayes turned to the holographic display showing the last moments of Ambassador Reeves' life. They made it total war the moment they lit that flame. Within hours, the recall orders went out across human space. From the mining platforms of Kepler, 442 to the research stations orbiting Proxima Centauri, humanity began to gather its scattered children. The Zephyr Empire had expected the usual response. A few angry transmissions, perhaps some economic sanctions, maybe a symbolic military strike. What they got was something they had never seen before. An entire species mobilizing for war with the cold efficiency of a hive mind. The first human fleet arrived at the Zephyr border 3 weeks later. It wasn't the scattered patrol boats the Empire expected. It was a wall of steel and fury stretching across 17 light-minutes of space. Dreadnoughts, carriers, and 10,000 smaller vessels retrofitted for one purpose. Emperor Vashka received humanity's response at the same time his outer defenses began burning. There were no demands, no negotiations, no terms offered. Just a single message, broadcast on all frequencies. You executed our diplomat under the flag of truce. You burned him alive for protecting sovereign worlds. Ambassador David Reeves died believing in civilization. The transmission paused, showing the massive human armada advancing like an inexorable tide. We're here to teach you why that was a mistake. The Zephyr Empire lasted 18 days. Humanity's definition of civilization would never again be taken lightly.